Hello everyone, my name is BM and welcome back to the channel. In the previous video, I gave a quick overview of my rider-focused account. Today, I want to talk about the hero combinations that I use on my marches, which I have set up based on what I need for different scenarios. If you're struggling with hero pairings for your own account, or you just want a different perspective on how marches are set up, then you are in the right place. Let's jump in. Instead of talking about just one squad at a time, we will focus on how I build multi-squad setups using the mass deploy function. This is where you can save 3 presets, each with up to 5 squads, and send them out quickly depending on what you need. I won't cover the step-by-step setup here, that's perhaps better for another video, so I'll assume that you already know how to assign heroes and save your presets. Today, we will focus on how I fill these slots, which hero combinations I put into each squad, and how each of the 3 mass deploy presets has its own specific purpose. Before we look at my actual presets, let's talk about one basic question first. How many squads should you really fight with? In mass deploy, it is very tempting to always send out all 5 squads. And yes, a full 5 squad march will usually deal the most damage, but it will also fill up your hospital the fastest. Before I decide how many squads to use, I think about, first, my hospital and resources. Do I have enough space in my hospital, speed ups, and resources to heal what I am about to lose? Not just now, but for the rest of the event. Second, I look at the troop count. Can I fill my presets and still keep extra troops in reserve? Ideally, at least enough to fill my hospital. Third, I look at squad quality, mine versus my opponent's. Sometimes it is better to run 3 strong marches instead of 5 weak ones, especially if the enemy squads are much stronger. For example, in Apex, sending out squads with 3 million armament might could be suicidal, but it is perfectly fine in Elite and Fearless Warzone. Once you're clear on those basics, it is much easier to decide if a fight should be a full 5 squad push or a lighter setup to save troops. So, in my case, I usually fight with 3 squads, with the option to add a 4th when I feel that its 2.9 armament set can actually survive on the battlefield. Now, let's take a look at my presets. I've basically organized them by where the battles are happening. If the fight is happening near my shelter, I use the preset where I ignore march speed and just focus on running my strongest hero combinations. If the fight is happening far from my shelter, for example when I'm hunting enemies in ARI or IR, I switch the preset built for maximum speed. The last preset is my balanced setup, for when I need both power and some mobility, like when I am hunting chainsaws and scavengers. With that in mind, let's break down the hero combinations for each preset. First, let's take a look at the heroes that stay the same across all of my presets. Daryl and Elena are a solid pair. They are fast, they have great attack and defense. Daryl's second skill also boosts Elena's already hard-hitting rage skill damage. See here, it increases skill damage by 21%. He also deals damage every time he receives AoE damage. Meanwhile, Elena's second skill helps reduce that incoming damage. So a lot of their skills are synergistic and that makes them a solid pair. Next, I have the Calamity Sisters. So they have been definitely overshadowed by the newer heroes, but they are still very reliable, especially if you already have the skins unlocked. They are fast, they slow enemies via Cynthia's rage skill, and also they reduce enemies' defense via Catherine's rage skill. So look here in this in her fourth skill, it it reduces the enemy's defense every time the rage skill is activated. So in the future, I might be replacing them with a duo involving Claude, but for now, they are my main debuffers. Next, I'll show you how I combined what are arguably the four strongest rider heroes in the moment. Chasey, Felix, Rick, and Janet are all monsters in the field. Their kits revolve around dealing constant damage, and they synergize incredibly well with each other, with the small exception of Chasey and Janet. For my main preset, I combined Chasey and Rick. In this setup, I don't really care about march speed, so I'm fine with pairing these two heroes. What they lack in speed, however, they make up for in pure strength. They both can increase basic attack frequency, and they have skills that get stronger the more basic attacks you do. For example, Rick's second skill. The best part is how Rick's awakened skill is boosted by Chasey's rage skill. You can see here that his awakened skill, it gets boosted by basic attack damage buffs. And we know that the biggest basic attack damage buff of all is Chasey's rage skill, which boosts it by a whopping 330%. So you can see overall it's a great combination, especially if when they are both fully transcended. Next, I pair Felix with Janet. They are one of the few pairs that can consistently maximize Janet's second skill. Also, they are very fast, which is why I also use this pair in my maximum speed preset. Felix, as we know, has solid attack skills, but is usually a bit squishy in big fights. Luckily, Janet's fourth skill helps mitigate it. She gives 30% in rider HP and 10% damage reduction. Next, for my balanced preset, basically I just split Chasey and Rick so that they get paired with someone who boosts speed. So first, I use the classic Chasey and Felix combination. So this is a reliable and tested pair where Felix's awakened skill gets maximum value out of both their rage skills. Okay. So that's what makes this pair really deadly and powerful. Then next, I have the light siblings. So Rick and Janet, I paired them both. So Rick also maximizes Janet's second skill. Also, together, they give flat damage to damage and damage reduction, and basically makes them a good all-around pair. And that's it for this video. If this helped you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. And feel free to drop your own setups in the comment. See you in the next one. Goodbye.